Hey guys, so I am now a blinking G apparently. I think I have messed up my computer's cameras so much that I've even restarted the entire computer system and I can't seem to get video to work again. The cameras are working. I can see them over here in OBS. All of them are working. They're all doing their job. I just can't seem to get the video to work on Restream, and I don't know what that means. So I am going to just sit here and broadcast with a shared screen, I guess. Let's see here. I don't think it knows which screen to share. So I just got back from rebooting. So give me a second to reload everything because everything is offline. So there's that. And I don't know why I don't have video. I've rebooted, I've restarted, I've reset everything. I don't know. Well, maybe just, oh, hey, look, hey, enable camera. I got the enable camera working. That's one, I guess. I don't know why that was not on by default anymore. I don't know. So, hello, Donald. My video's working now. Look, we can see me. I'm here. I'm a real person. I am kind of washed out, though. Look how washed out I am. Which camera am I looking at? You? No, you. Okay. All right. We're loading 2 versions of Character Animator. I'm not sure why. Should only need 1 version. Oh, hey, look at us crashing Character Animator. It is not going well with me this morning. So today's project is a continuation of the project that's due Tuesday, as in day before yesterday. It was due the day before yesterday at lunch. There we go. So we're going to be working on that if it will launch. All right. We're going to work on her, which with this, the selected camera is unavailable. Oh, man. Okay. You need to select my live camera. Oh, God. I swear. This is like roulette here. You need to select my live camera, turn off the camera, turn on the camera, select live. It's no longer being used by OBS. You can now stop whining about it. It's like the universe is trying to tell me, don't do this project. Don't make money. Just don't do it. This has been a nightmare project. This entire project has been. And I can't get it finished because of technology, not because of my skill levels. It's all about technology. Okay, so we're going to do that. Okay, Donald, if I lose you, I apologize. I'm going to hit refresh. No, never mind. I'm not going to hit refresh. It will disconnect the system if I hit refresh. Okay, USB live. Turn on the camera. There we go. Okay, that worked. Share screen. That's the screen. There we go. So we'll do this internally in here so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Can I make this guy bigger or something? Like put me up here or something? Like down here? No, I guess not. There's nothing you can do. That's the best we got. I don't know if I like this. Okay. All right. we got that going. The one thing that is good, though, about this is even without OBS running, I can still do things like rig my music. In theory. Not sure whether you guys can hear the music or not. Should be taking my desktop music. No, I don't think you guys can anymore, can you? So there's no music. Sorry. Oh, well. Nothing we can do but laugh at it. Okay, good morning, Donald. How are you doing this morning? I mean, better than me, obviously. Okay. I'm going to set you for the Logitech. There we go. Now the Logitech can see my face. It needs to kind of get an idea of where things are going. And this will allow me to run the character. But she's still floating, although we've got her better now. And I've got handle control over, or I had handle control over her hand. I don't anymore. I just have handle control over her eyes. We'll have to fix that. Ooh, energy less is not good. And see, this is what I've been fighting with this entire time. See how she's floating back and forth, including the table. And I can make the table like, I mean, you've probably not been this seasick since the last time you were on ship, right? I mean, you're just sitting here floating back and forth and being seasick. Anyway, so I'm going to have to go fix some of this. I think I've got a lot of this fixed, so we're going to now load Photoshop. Unload her in Photoshop. I hope that fired it off. Yes, it did. Because we got a couple of things we need to fix with her. So, kind of energyless is not good. We're waiting for Photoshop to load. I still have the welcome to Photoshop over here. Photoshop has made a cute addition to itself that has made my life markedly harder again. I'm really having problems with Adobe products these days. They are costing me a lot of time. I'm going to have to start building in error buffers in all of my projects now because of Adobe. I mean, the reason I'm having a problem with Character Animator is because they changed the entire hierarchy function. So it's completely different now than the way when I learned how to use it. So now I've had to go through for the last couple of days because rigging the character is the last step and usually only takes about, I don't know, an hour or two, which I did Monday night. I tried that Monday night to start rigging it. The staple was gone, which was the little icon that I needed to staple all of the rig together. That was completely gone. And they had replaced it with an entirely different hierarchy system, which means that the way that the hierarchy, I'm still waiting for Photoshop to load. Well, the hierarchy system has required me to watch a number of YouTube videos so that I can find out what how to rig puppets these days, because the puppeting rigging system is different now. So that cost me 2 extra days. Photoshop has changed now in a way that is, oh, come on, Photoshop. I've actually written to Adobe and I'm like, you've become the industry standard, and now Photoshop is finally here. But with the industry standard, you're costing us a ton of time. All right, the first thing we're going to do now that we're here, once Photoshop gets back to itself here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean up some of the crap that's around here. You can see it in Character Animator. This stuff here is just junk on the cells. It doesn't need to be there. So we're going to take this body cell and we're going to do a trick that I learned a long time ago to clean up art cells. And that is, you're going to take this and we're going to add, sure, don't work. See if I go. We're going to add a stroke, just a normal 16 pixel stroke to everything. That highlights all the trash. This is common stuff that occurs when we have an object that comes in from being scanned on a scanner bed. All of this is common because the scanner is going to pick up, 16 million different shades of white, and it's perfectly content doing that. We don't want all of that white. So what we'll do here is we'll clean up some of this chatter that's going on around here. And that'll help us a lot because this chatter isn't important. It's really not important. We don't need it or want it. But this is an old trick that I used to use back in the day when I used to do comics this way. I would draw the comics in on 11 by 17 masters, and then I would scan them in and then have to clean them up here in Photoshop and make them absolutely black and white. And one of the problems, of course, is that you're working on your room. Could be working on the railroad. Okay, wait, no, not working on the railroad. All the live long day. Just saying. Okay. Just going to go real quickly, just kind of police some of this because it's kind of gotten, in my haste to do this, we've been kind of going a little too fast, I think, on this. And we've ended up with weird and bizarre stuff. Like, I don't even know what this black line's for. I don't know why there's an orange line in here. And these are all like filling errors, it looks like. So the other thing we're going to do is something I should have done in the beginning. I'm going to separate this table and pull it out. All it's doing is making for a very complicated and difficult system that doesn't need to be this difficult. It doesn't need to be this complicated. So we're going to take this body function here. And first of all, let's turn the head back on so we can see where the body needs to go back now that we've fixed where the body is. All right, because it's loading this body in to Character Animator. No, I haven't. I haven't managed to. I managed to get part of the animation running. So that's what we're working on right now, Ghost Hand. Donald, Ghost Hand's coming in from Twitch, and so although you can read that on the screen, I love this thing. This thing's great. So we're cleaning up the cell because it needs to be cleaned up. And we're going to do some of the things that I really should have done in the first place. One, we're going to separate the table. Well, really don't want the table to be separated because if I do, we run the risk of her just being like all over the place. So let's go back to Character Animator. And you'll notice that it's cleaned up a lot of that. Oh, we gotta turn off that stroke. Yikes, we don't want that stroke. There we go. Let's save it again. Okay, now we're back here. So we've got what we've got now is we've gotten closer, right? It's much closer. Now it's cleaner. The head, however, is still attached to the body, and the body is still controlled by my head. And I don't know where her arm went. So we're going to have to turn on the arm. Right, which can't be done here. It must be done here. There we go. Now save again. There we go. Now she has a hand and an arm. Gosh, I hope that arm's IK is still connected. Nah, why would it do that? The arm's IK is, in fact, not connected at all. Okay, shoulder. So we tell the program that that's the shoulder, and we make sure the shoulder's origin is right here. Then we go to forearm. We tell the IK that's the forearm. The elbow needs to be right there. Right. We go to hand, and we say that the hand is right here. Now, if I run this normally right now, her hand is like all floppy, and it'll look like it's some kind of weird fish, right? It'll be like all floppy, but it does look like it's moving slightly independently. Let's also put a draggable on that front there. That draggable tag means that I can move it, right? So now I can grab it, but it's now bendy. It's so bendy. So we'll fix that by doing this. They've got this bone function here, which allows me to put a bone like that and a bone like that. It's not bendy anymore, right? So if we go in here now, it's not bendy, but the IK chains are kind of confused because it doesn't understand that she's a side view. So we're going to go fix a couple of things, not the least of which is I go to her and make sure this is marked as a side view like that. That helps us a little bit on each one of these. But the other thing we're going to want to do is go into our arm functions here and make sure that says that that's a side view as well. And her body is a side view. And her head is a side view. And that's important because we're going to have to like do all of this stuff. So head also needs its origin point to be here. There we go. That way it will stop being goofy with her hair. There's still like doodly wops around her head. We're going to have to fix that someday. Although if it runs today, I'm not going to mess with it. That's really just the way it goes. So that's the way it is. Okay. Now that we've done this, let's go to her body here. And I don't know if I want to make it independent. Make its origin point right here. But then let's see what happens if I pin. She's still floating all over the place. That's not helping me any. Okay. She does seem to have control over her eyebrows, and the blink seems to be controlling correctly. But I can't seem to get her to stay still. Maybe if I pin and pin, she might not go anywhere. But I need her to be relative to... I mean, at least this I know that I've got this. So Here's how we control, by the way, her. It's very hard to do. We control her with her limb IK, right? Arms and legs. And we need to turn off the auto flip and then check my bend threshold here. There we go. She still looks unpleasant, but at least we're getting closer. And let's go in and fix that IK chain. Maybe I want that closer. I don't know. Right in the middle seems like it should be there. I don't know. I'm having a problem with that. One of the things he had also said was some people do this, and that really stabilizes the animation so that it won't move, right? Yes. I don't even know what to do about some of this stuff. I mean, okay, so we're getting closer, but we still get. I mean, it really doesn't matter because all she's going to do is put the bills down. But the problem is when she does, we still get this bump right here. So we still have to fix this. And maybe that origin is here. I don't know. Right? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I need to remove these guys. I don't know. Well, we'll. Maybe these guys are too much. Let's just go on ahead and redo this. Because it was working beautifully earlier today. All right. That's the right wrist. Oh, the origin points. Okay, so let's take a look at where their origin points are. Their origin points are in the correct place. Okay, good. We want this. We want this to tilt, maybe? I don't know. What I do think is funny is the two different video cameras here. I've got this camera and this camera, and you can see this camera in this part right up here. You can see like me again, so I can do. I wish you wouldn't move around. Okay. Take the side view. Auto sync, yes. But we're going to turn off the camera temporarily so they can at least work on this, right? So we need to fix her IK so she's not so bendy. There you go. Right, we're good. Because all she really is going to do is look at this and then put it down like this. This is the animation. It's not complicated. There we go. So let's go into, let's put in the bones she needs to have. No. That's not what I want. Right? It was working a minute ago. Oh, God. Okay. So I literally cannot put the bone from origin to origin. Okay, well, that doesn't surprise me, I guess. That'd be useful, but clearly isn't going to happen. Okay, so now we've got, there we go. She can look at this and she can put it down. And it's got to be from here to here, right? So that's all we're doing. That's it, right there. Now, as long as, really honestly, as long as her audio still syncs up, we should be fine. So let's see what we got.
I just don't know how we're going to catch up on all of these bills, and I really don't want to lose the house. But we just can't seem to get our feet under us.
Maybe we should call Nate and see what he suggests. He said we can call him anytime. There has to be some sort of program or something.
There we go. So, okay, so the visemes are still syncing up, which means her mouth is still moving when it needs to move correctly. So that's a plus. That means we're still working correctly on this piece of programming. What I'm going to do is this. We're going to, first of all, I need her eyes to stop. I need her eyes to stop. The dragger has a limited range of, say, 35 pixels, maybe even less. Because what's happening here is with this, I'm controlling her eyes and her hand in the same spot. So we're going to try to get that dragger down to about 10 pixels. Okay, that's one. The eye gaze is the other one. Handles. And why is it? No. See, so here's what happened. They had a really intuitive, very lovely system for IK chains that worked really well for animators. And they have decided to throw all of that out in favor of a more programming approach with lots of dots and things and pluses and stars and levels and layers, which is not intuitive for us artists. So you kind of now need an artist to do the work and then a programmer to run the character animator, which is exactly what I was hoping that they wouldn't do. But that does seem to be the way that Adobe is going in general, is you need a team of 2 people to run everything. You need some, logical programmer side, left brain guy to do all the dinking with it. And then you need the right brain creative type to do the stuff. And they usually start out with a very creative base, and then they move to this. So now we're at trying to figure out all the programming, which is not my forte and slows me down immensely. So that's where we are. We're going to go work on her real quick. In her right eye, I have this pupil. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a dragger to it. I think is what I want to do. Draggable. Right? Yeah. So we're going to make that draggable. We're also going to put, no, I don't want that. We just want her head. Her head is draggable too, but doesn't have a handle, I think. So this is my draggable handle. That's the pupil. I don't want the pupil. I want Right pupil, draggable. Okay. That's not going to help me. Hey, look what you just did. You deleted the pupil. Don't do that. You delete. Okay. Now, head has this part, which I'm going to try to make draggable. But I probably should move it to like here so that the 20 points are out there. And let's see if I can't drag her. Yeah, see, though I can drag her head, it's not doing what I want it to do. Okay. But we're closer. Because now what we can do is this. Right? And this will stop her head from moving. In theory. Yeah, and that didn't work like I wanted it to either. Anyway, okay, well, let's take out the things that I just put in. You delete, and you delete, and you delete. And maybe our problem isn't that. Maybe our problem is the origin for this. Because one of these critters starts turning green when it runs out of an area. So let's figure out how to do that. So the thought process here is I will be able to move her head. That's what we're after here. But I want her head to stay contiguous and not wander off. So we're going to try making her head independent. There we go. So if we do the origin, whoa. I'll move you. Take the origin. Let me put it right, like maybe there. Let's see what happens there. Only her eyes move. Fascinating. Okay. Her head. What this is. Oh. We don't want that to be. There we go. That's what we were after. That might be it. No. That's back to squishy head. Because I can't get her to pivot her head. And this is part of the problem. Get her head to pivot. So, okay, pupil, right. Nope, still squishy. Not getting a pivot on this at all. And this is really annoying. Okay, so we'll go to body. It's got a lot of fixed points. Maybe I should just delete this point to make sure it's not, because I can see the mesh is moving. So maybe if I just put these guys as fixed points down here, I don't know. Let's see. No, and we still can't actually move. You know what? I know what the problem is, I'll bet you our problem is the handle. So let's go back into the head and let's get that draggable handle and put it here. Betcha that's it. wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. No. No, now I've got control of the bottom of her head only. That didn't work. Okay. Then I'll put maybe bone like that. But the thing is that I have learned an awful lot. See, where's that draggable point? There it is, but it still didn't work. I've learned an awful lot about Character Animator, and what I'm learning is that they've made it extremely versatile in hopes to make it usable. But what's really happening is that it's just difficult to use. This is going to be fun, I can already see. Right. Okay, let's see here. Where's the handle? I can control her eyes. You know what? Maybe I just move her eyes. Maybe we just call it good that she can move her eye and her mouth, and that's it. Maybe we should just call that good enough. I don't know. I'm still trying to decide whether I want to just do this or not. So here's the thing. I can hit record over here and control pieces of her like this. Just put this down like that. And just up and then down. Up and then down. Right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a control handle on her eyebrow, making it draggable means that I can control this from the seam. We are literally making this difficultly draggable. So I can control her eyes, but only within 20 pixels. So I need to make sure I'm close here. Like there. No. Miyagi. Gotcha. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. He, Pat Morita passed away a long time ago, which is why he's not in Cobra Kai, of course. Okay, guys, we're going to try this here. We're going to see if I can't get... I've got him animated, so let's go ahead and record with her.
I just don't know how we're going to catch up on all of these bills, and I really don't want to lose the house. But we just can't seem to get our feet under us.
Maybe we should call Nate and see what he suggests. He said we can call him anytime. There has to be some sort of program or something.
Right? So I just recorded this handle. Now the question is, can I take this out? There's no handle there. And this out. There's no handle here. And take that out. And I wonder if I can turn off these things. So for the record, now the question is, can I re-record it? And this time, not record or keep the handle. So this is the test. This is a test.
I just don't know how we're going to catch up on all of these bills, and I really don't want to lose the house. But we just can't seem to get our feet.
No. So, or maybe. Oh yeah, it does. It works.
I just don't know how we're going to catch up on all of these bills, and I really don't want to lose the house. But we just can't seem to get our feet under us.
Maybe we should call Nate and see what he suggests.
There you go. We're getting closer. I know everybody's going to be sick and tired of hearing this audio. I'm sorry.
I just don't know how we're going to catch up on all of these bills, and I really don't want to lose the house. But we just can't seem to get our feet under us.
Maybe we should call Nate and see what he suggests. He said we can call him anytime. There has to be some sort of program or something.
So that was just the eyes. And I'll take out that. And we'll do one more pass on her eyebrow. And here we go.
I just don't know how we're going to catch up on all of these bills, and I really don't want to lose the house. But we just can't seem to get our feet under us.
Maybe we should call Nate and see what he suggests. He said we can call him anytime. There has to be some sort of program or something.
Okay, now we've gotten the eyebrow, the handle, and the hand. Let's take a look at what it says.
I just don't know how we're going to catch up on all of these bills, and I really don't want to lose the house. But we just can't seem to get our feet under us.
Maybe we should call Nate and see what he suggests. He said we can call him anytime. There has to be some sort of program or something.
Okay. So I can at least bulk hand manually record this thing by going through with each pass and manually moving each body part. We're still having sort of a problem with the fact that it looks like there's difficulty with her head not moving. And I actually kind of feel like now, having looked at other puppets, I feel like maybe what I need to do is build a new puppet from scratch that has different aspects, like her hair should move differently, because we can do dangles on that. And maybe not build a new puppet from scratch per se, but I think what we can do is go in and add a couple of layers of hair, and that might help her a lot in the movement. So we're going to do that. But first, you know how this goes. It is now the midpoint. Everybody needs to get up and stretch. So we're going to do that. Vonk. So everybody stand up and stretch. I don't know if prayer is going to help me today, my friend. This is Adobe. Okay, everybody stretch. And go for a little walk. come back. We'll go over here. And we'll look outside and go, oh, what a lovely day. And then we'll come back. We'll sit down again. All right. That feels better. Stretch out our hands. Okay. The one thing we can do here is we can make some movement changes here that will help. So we're going to do that. So let's go on ahead and bring this guy back. I don't need to be in here anymore. Me? Yeah. Me? Yeah. Oh, I know how to do this. There we go. Turn off the minimize. Stretch like a Klingon after eating a fresh killed targ and drinking a barrel of vintage blood wine. You ever notice that, especially the guy that played Martok, he was really big on sounding like a pirate over his teeth. Okay. It does look like the okay, so at least I have the animation moving. Good. Now, we're going to go in and we're going to edit her in Photoshop. So let's go on ahead and bring her back to Photoshop. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go into the head function here, work, right? And all we've got under the head is just her head. For one, we have to do a little trick that we just did at the beginning of the show. That shows me all the crap that's in this thing. Okay. So as I had said at the beginning of the show, this is a trick I had learned a long time ago, importing things into when I used to do comics, I would do these comics and I would bring them in and I'd scan them. I'd draw them on 11x17 masters and then I'd scan them in. And then that would put them in here like this. So here's where we are on this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to yes. And he didn't speak like a pirate. Okay. We're going to shave her is what we're going to do here in just a second. Now that we've cleaned that up, we're going to take the stroke and throw that away. And then we're going to duplicate the head. We're not going to do that. We're going to duplicate the head. And this is going to be called head like that. And we're going to take this guy and we're going to shave her. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to really shave her because we don't really need to, but we want the bangs here to act independently. So we're going to remove them to about there. And we're going to want this to act independently now. So we're going to remove that to about there. And we're going to take everything like this and pull it back to here. And then everything up here won't move much. So we're going to leave that alone. But what we are going to do is we're going to take her skin tone, the darker skin tone here, and we're going to go through and we're just going to clean it up. We're going to clean this up. this. We probably don't even need all of this bottom stuff because it's part of the body. So we're going to go on ahead and just erase all the way through to like that. And we may have to come back and patch that back in. We'll see. But for right now, we're not worrying that much about it. Okay. Make a larger brush for this. So a little bit bigger than 9 points. Maybe a little bit bigger even than that. There we go. And we'll just come up through here like so. Now her head isn't going to pop up a lot. But we're going to go on ahead and just do this. And we're going to come back through like so. Makes her look kind of skeletal though, doesn't it? I mean, like with this like weird whatever thing's going on with her mouth. So we're just going to do that. This. Now, if I were really animating this, I'd go through and animate this shade too, but this is going to take months to do that. So we're not doing it. Okay, let's put her body back on to make sure everything attaches. It does not, in fact, attach, as we sort of suspected it was going to. So we're going to reattach everything down here. There we go. It's very much like surgery, except weirder. For those of you in the audience who have actually performed surgery, kind of looking at ghost hand here, I'm sure it's nothing like surgery in real life. So there's that. Oh well. This is absolutely nothing like surgery. Kind of like surgery, says Guy. No, says Ghost Hand. It's nothing like surgery, really. You get Thor there, that Thor moment of, but is it really? You're like, yeah, it's not really. Oh well. It is kind of funny. Oh yeah, that's true. But I see her as, she's not a kid. I mean, because in the comic strip we've been drawing of her, she's pregnant. So she's not really a kid. She's, just kind of, let's make sure her body is straightened out on this one too. We'll just do this here and kind of do that so it matches. And then we'll do this. So I don't see her as being a kid. I mean, you see her in her 20s or so, but not a kid. All right. Does all of this match? No, it didn't match at all. Let's just straighten this out completely like so. I'll go up onto the head here. Right. Cleaning all of that up. Just making sure all of these lines are nice and clean. Okay. Here's what we're going to do next. We're going to bring this in, and we're going to put bangs in. So we're going to copy this out again, and we're going to make this into bangs. Okay. On the bangs layer, we're going to take everything else out, except for, obviously, her bangs. Work. So all of this across here. And we're going to just make this a separate line right there, right where her bangs move. And we're going to take just the top part of it there, right there off. And then going to go in here, since we already have this brush selected. I'm going to go in and just cut this down like so. And cut through here. We're going to have to come back and fix it. So it's okay. I'm going to take the brush and gently fix this. All right. Character Animator is, I mean, as much as I gripe about it, Character Animator is very, very powerful. So it's just that I really dislike the fact that they keep thinking we're programmers, and we're really just not. And I wish their UX UI guys would do that. UX UI is user experience, user interface. And it's a specific kind of programmer who looks at the programming and says, your clientele is, stupid. They're too dumb to realize how to use this. So you need to change all of these buttons so that they're absolutely straightforward so nobody will mess it up. All right, that's what a UX UI person does. I used to do UX UI back in the days. So I feel like, by the way, that we might have two strands here, this strand and this strand. So I'm going to go ahead and do, if we're here already, I'm going to call this one strand, like so, and it's just going to be this guy. So, by the way, I'm not saying that people are too stupid. I'm talking about us artists. Sometimes us artists really need assistance. This is just this strand right here. And that's all we're putting in here. You may be wondering, why am I doing this? For a couple of reasons. One, at some point here, this puppet is going to start moving correctly. And when it does, it'd be nice if her hair moved around in a different way. So, there we go. And then the last part is her hair. Okay, these are the hair sides. And that's everything else. And this part right through here. And turn off the body so we can make sure we get it. All the way up to about here-ish. Okay, so we're taking all that out. Somebody has left their dog out in the yard, and he's very annoyed. Okay, so I'm going to go up here and make sure that the bangs are assembled correctly, because they're not. So come around like this, and we'll fill in like this. So there we go. Now the bangs have been fixed. I'm also going to kind of just go back here and do this. Make sure it sort of taps back to there. And we're going to save. Now, this save probably killed all of our bones. It did. And it killed everything else. You turn the body off, guy. Don't turn the body off. Save. There we go. This probably killed all of our bones in our hand. I'm going to be very annoyed by that. But, oh no, it didn't kill all of our bones. Okay, good. I was worried that would happen. Right? So we will put the bangs, sit up here on sort of this. It's living in a different world. It should be in a different world. And I feel like it should be independent, right? There we go. So the bangs then are a dangle, right? That's this guy. Okay. And the hair sides are origin here. And we'll also have a dangle. There. Yeah, dangle. There. And the strand, its origin needs to be there. And then it also has a dangle. Dingle, dangle. The bangs, their origin needs to be here. And the dangle needs to be here. And that's the way this works. Now, if I'm right, and I'm always right, it'll screw up completely, just like it did. Right? Control that, put it on control. Her eyes have moved. Why did her eyes move? Why did I move her head? Why did this happen? What was I thinking? Because her head's no longer aligned with her eyes. How did that happen? Nope. I'll take this guy here. Ugh. Her head's out of alignment. Okay, head's draggable, but I'm going to take here and move the draggable up. That. Let's see where. This is just so that we can see if it worked. Right, because we should be able to. I'm seeing this dangle, right? The hair is somewhat movable. It's better than nothing. Hair sides, dangle. I wonder if I can get more than one dangle in here. Like dangle, like dangle, like dangle. Yes. Yes, Pinky. Because her hair strand's great. Her bangs. Maybe dangle. And then dangle, maybe. Yes. Put her hair back together again over here. Just kind of assemble it back up like it's supposed to be. There we go. I see that moving, which is great, because that means something's working correctly. And if we turn on the physics, we can get more gravity. Okay, good. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Okay, that was funny. I'm easily entertained. Let's turn off the stiffness. Work. Wow. This is getting weirder and weirder as time goes on. Damping. Squashiness. Wow, I'm going to really mess it up like that. Let's not do that. Okay, let's turn the gravity down to where it was, which was 10. That's apparently what it needs. Then we can grab the handle back here. And we can get some movement out of her hair. Okay, good. Dingle. Dingle. I feel like I'm going to have to, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do. I'm going to have to make her other arm independent. It seems like every time I get this character under control in some way, we have to mess with something going on here. Okay, I'm going to turn off that so I can see her eye, because her eye is now way off somewhere else. I'm not sure why we are so far off on all of this. There I am. I just don't know how I can not get her head there. I like how they cannot cross. The bones cannot cross. It specifically says that. It's a rule. Oh, sure. This is the first one. And probably now I will charge Nate not the expensive rate, but a less expensive rate, because he's been very patient with me and put up with this quite a bit. So I'm actually going to move the origin point to here. Move this bone there. So since he's put up with that, I'll give him quite a discount, because he's been putting up with a lot of this. There we go. Now she looks. The only problem is her head still isn't pivoting. It's smishing. But the hair is moving like it's supposed to, which is great. Hey, hair look. Can't get her head to stop deforming. So let's go in here and let's see if we can't do something about some of this stuff. Because some of this is right. Some of this is working great. Like, I've got great control over her hand. That's working fine. Here, you take it, you jerk. Why are you making me do all this work? Right? That's working fine. I'm not having a problem with that. What I can't get is this one, which seems to just squish her head a lot. And I don't want it to squish her head.
I just don't know how we're going to catch up.
Right? Because, see, I mean,
I just don't know how we're
I
going
just
to
need
catch up.
to get her to move. Well, getting the hair off of the head as a unit is great. I wonder if I need to move her neck, like disassemble her neck from the body, so that maybe she can look up, but she doesn't actually have to move, right? Because if I move, I'm going to have to move this other arm too. There's going to be a lot of these things that are going to have to move in unison to make it stop. Look at our limb IK. I can put arms and legs. I wonder if I could do that to get this to stop wiggling. You know what I mean? What if I made just spots in her key and said this was her, instead of saying, put that there and call that her right ankle, right heel, right? And then put this one here and call it her left heel, right? I mean, I just said that the heels couldn't move, so we'll make that fixed. And we'll make this guy fixed, right? Maybe they can't move. If so, maybe I can get back to controlling her with the camera. No, that didn't work. Now we're just seasick. Whoa, whoa. But it is kind of fun with the hair. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's like balding, but she's stopping at the intersections. It's kind of, so this is sort of what I was hoping for. If I can make her hair move like this, it seems to work really well. If I can get her head to stop deforming like this, then we can get this done and it's not a real problem. And it actually will look nice because she'll be able to like have her hair move a little bit when she moves. But I can't get control of it. I don't know, guys. This is extraordinarily frustrating. Because, we got to figure this out. The hair seems to be perfect. Mostly because I actually remember the dongle handles from before, the dangle handles. Dangle, dingle, dingle. I remember that from before. So those weren't hard to implement or put in. What's hard is getting her head to move on a pivot, because it's not moving on a pivot. It's distorting instead of moving. It's not tilting like it's supposed to. So I don't know what to do here on this one. I am at a loss again. It's a shame. I have spent a lot of hours on this. Many, many, many hours on this. And I'm aggravated by the fact that this is clearly just one problem I'm running into. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things. First, Dude needs to, we can probably work on Dude a little, and this will change some things. I feel like Dude's origin here, character, I don't even know why it's not blue or it's not green. No layers or handle can be found. Dragger. There's no dragger, so he shouldn't need a dragger, and I get that. I don't know where his dragger is. Who's dragging? Who has a dragger? It's Shauna, and I'll be fine. I'm not terribly worried. The biggest problem is that this was due Tuesday, and it was supposed to be done on Tuesday, and Nate is a patient fellow and a very nice fellow and everything like that, but I have to be fair. We are 2 days overdue on this because of one glitch. Handle tagged as right pupil. So I am kind of taking a break. I'll take a break from her and I'll come back to him. He had controllers, and I think if I can figure out how to pin him down and make him not move, we might be able to get this to work. But, don't worry. We'll be okay. I'm annoyed, and we'll get there. We'll get there. Nate is a remarkably tolerant fellow and a good guy. So, I feel like we have this out of control. So let's put upper body here and put head in upper body. There we go. That should help us a little bit there. So I've learned stuff since I've worked with this guy. So let's try to see if I can't get him squared away. Learned a lot since these days here on this. So we got chair, and the chair is really his lower body. So I don't want the chair to flex with him. So we're going to, but we do want the bottom part, this part right here, to not move. So here's what we're going to do. Upper body is independent, and I see this being the face, and it really should be head. When you make the plus like that, it makes it independent, right? We're going to take the plus off of here. The body isn't independent. I don't want it to be independent, right? So we're going to take the head. We're going to do the same thing we just did with her. I'm going to duplicate it and make this hair. Because that should be a little silly, right? We can have a little bit of fun with that. And we'll do bangs. And we'll duplicate it, and we'll do hair. Okay, so the back of his hair will move a little bit, right? We don't want to move a lot, but we'll move it a little. So first things first, let's take the head here and remove the bangs so that they can flippy all by their lonesome self up here. It'll be fun. Right? I'll leave that one there because it's funny. We'll do that. And then we'll take some of that out too. And we'll also take out his little tails behind him of his mullet. I love that this guy has a mullet. I think that cracks me up more than anything. Okay, so we cleared out everything but his mullet. We'll go through and we'll just take here and we'll just come back in and just, no, that's the eraser tool guy. We'll just come back in and we'll just put this in. He looks silly with his hair. I don't know what to do. Right, so there you go. And that'll be fine. We'll come back in, we'll fix that. So there's, that's just his head. And we'll do the back hair here. The back hair needs to be pretty much everything up here. Bye-bye. Everything all the way into his ears. And then with that new go through here like so. And this. What we'll do is, and I appreciate, by the way, you telling me to take a breath. That is absolutely a wise move. And I'm kind of technically doing that. What I do is I'll move on to another aspect of this program that I like. That's artwork. That makes it nice. I'm okay with it. So we'll just come up just a little bit like that, because otherwise I'm going to have to come in here and make this clear for the head, and I don't want to do that. I've got better things to do with my life. So, because then I'd have to put it underneath the body. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I got better things to do. So this is the back hair here. You can see the head's fine on top of it. There we go. And now we can like get a haircut. Get a haircut. Okay, I'm fine. No, I'm never fine. Get a haircut, you hippie. Okay. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Go eat, bro. I'll see you tomorrow if you can. You know, tomorrow is Artist Friday, and we'll be here with Pepper. And who knows? Maybe Colton and Raph will join. I have no idea. But maybe they will. And if so, you can say hi to them. And that'll be awesome. Okay, let's clear out this, and we'll do our bangs for this one. Oh, that's got to go bye-bye. Kind of looks like Fry, doesn't he? That's kind of like, has this serious like Fry vibe going for him. So we'll come in here. We're just going to clean this out. Make sure that there's nothing left over here. All of this will come in and be bangs, like so. There we go. And we'll come back in and just kind of clean that up and clean that up and clean that up. All right. There we go. There. And that way his bangs will move. We'll give him some dangle to his bangs. That'll be funny. Dangle bangs. I'm not even sure what I'm saying here. I'm feeling sort of silly, but you know, it's all right. It's all good. All right. So we've added that in. We're going to save. We're going to go back into character animator. Okay, he's updated now. So theoretically, his head and his head, and his head and his head. What are we doing up here again? Does anybody even know? All right. Head. I don't even know what you are. Why do we have two heads? What's going on? It's better than one. So we got this head. I don't see the two heads that you're showing. Why are you showing two heads? I don't see that. I see body. I see hair. Oh, I see plus head. Maybe face. That was the reason why we had a face. All right. Okay. Face. Face I can do. Okay, the question we've got now. The handle tagged as head is not being used as any behavior. So, okay, so here's our head. Right. So we're going to connect it to the bottom. So this is now here is really what we want. Right. Now, the bangs are going to have a dangle. What do they have? Why am I seeing it selecting a whole bunch of crap? So we're going to put a dangle on the bangs. We're going to do this. The origin's here. The dangle's there because it'd be funnier. We want comedic value, right? There's hair. The same thing. I'm going to put a dangle on it there. And its origin is here. And the dangle will be like there, right? So if we go back into scene 1 and we turn on control of him, we should be able to, no, not her. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Come on. She needs to be not in control at this point, but rather him in control. No, not her. Him. Right? So and then it becomes oh my god. Why it says hair, not okay, so we gotta link everything together. So hair is bangs need to have an origin point, and they need to be here. I think his hair needs to be inside the folder for here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take bangs, face, hair. All right. Oh, look, everything got all screwed up. Right. And we're going to take all of those things and put them underneath. We've got these layers that are all messed up now. Okay, we're going to take this guy and put him underneath, and then put him underneath, and then put him on top, which is exactly what it should be. And when the head is not involved, why are you not in the freaking head thing? It's like dealing with a child, you people. So the face has to be under the mouth there. And the hair has to be under the face there. Close. Good. There. This is brutal. Maybe. So this is what they changed when they changed their IK chain information. So the question that I've got now, upper body should have an origin point of, say, right there. That's really what we want. Everything should be bending off of that. Makes total sense. Then the head have an origin point of right there. That makes some sense too. Right? The face then needs to be connected at that point. Since it's individual, independent, it can move any way it wants. Bangs, however, are going to have a dongle, which is way out here. And then I'll put this sort of there. Right? And the hair also is going to have a dongle right there, with its origin point being like right there. We're going to make a dongle there, and we're going to make a dongle there. And the same thing with the bangs. I'm going to make a dongle here, and here, and here, and there. That way, it won't move much. And then I'm going to pin that, hopefully. I'm not sure whether this will work. It didn't, in fact, work at all. In fact, everything looks like it's all borked. But at least if I try to do some up and down movement, none of the dongling's working like it's supposed to. And we're tilted to one side. I don't even know what tilted to one side means. Let's see. But let's hit the redo the scene. there, maybe. I don't know. I'm still suffering from the fact that I can't get heads to pivot. Oh gosh. Man. Let's just turn on his limb IK. He needs one. Come on, I swear. This is the most bizarre thing ever. Okay, the dude needs IK. Dude needs IK. All right. We have a couple of things we haven't done. So, for example, his head needs to be identified as the head. Perfect. His body needs to really be identified as that. Maybe not the neck per se, but certainly that. So we'll take that out right there. And then we'll move his waist origin down to here, right? And that'll help us a little bit. And if we get his neck, I can maybe add an origin point to right here and call that his neck, right? And then if I add an origin point there, I can call that his shoulder, and add an origin point there and call that his other shoulder, and move that to right there, sort of thing. I don't know if this will help me any in the IK of this guy, but maybe we get control of the eyebrows a little. That helps, but we're still having problems with moving the puppet. So I think what's going to happen is this. I've been trying to avoid this for a while, but I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have to go build off of a tutorial a puppet that's not related to this project. And then I'm going to have to learn how to build a puppet with all of its weird idiosyncrasies and programming things, and then come back in and rebuild these puppets from scratch. That's what I think is going to happen. I've been trying to avoid this because we're pretty much talking about throwing out all of the work that I've done for the last 3 days. And I have been working pretty hard on this. I spent the last week, I was assigned this last Tuesday and asked to do that week. I spent the last week building the assets, building the puppets, building the pieces, things like that. Luckily, I don't have to throw all that out, but I do think the last 3 days are pretty much a wash. So we're going to have to just undo it. I'll start all over again, build a new puppet, and come back in and do it the way that Adobe wants me to do it, which that's remarkably irritating, but also means that I will be doing this offline because I need to watch the YouTube videos, because this is the 21st century and nobody does just tutorials anymore. They all do YouTube videos. So I'm going to have to go watch a couple of YouTube videos where they'll talk about their grandmother and how lovely their grandmother was and stuff. It's part of me being Gen X. I feel like I'm like, can you guys just write a tutorial? Why do you have to do everything as a video? But of course, on the same token, as a broadcaster, I'm broadcasting. I can't actually take their video and broadcast it on my show. So I'm stuck. I cannot actually do this. So I can't broadcast at the same time, which is a shame. So let's go on ahead and do that. I'll see you folks tomorrow with Pepper and plausibly Colton and maybe even Raphael. I don't know why I just suddenly spaced his name. Maybe I just don't like him. If you're listening, Raph, I just zinged you because that's the way it always goes. Anyway, I have had kind of a rough day, I guess. This has not been the ideal day. Ghost Hand, Donald, it was good to have you guys with me today. Brent, I know you'll watch this a little later on. So anyway, I will see you all tomorrow. And remember, everybody, keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye. Computer, good night.